We've all imagined it. If you could build your dream house, what would that look like? A space that inspires you, calms you, and ultimately helps you live your best life? We've asked today's hottest designers to make this their mission.
We wanted to create an area of serenity.
Each design team will take a room from studs to the finishing touches.
And we want to create a space that's unique, inviting, and a ton of fun.
Showing you how to make every corner of your space work harder, better, and more beautifully than you ever thought it could.
Make a statement.
I'm Carisha Swanson from House Beautiful, and we are building the dream in Nashville. Our next designer is Amy Berry. Amy has been recognized for her fresh and approachable take on traditional design. She's been published in House Beautiful, Southern Living, and more. Berry will be taking on the kids' rooms. Her mission is to create rooms that kids can grow in and promote imagination and creativity. She flew from Dallas, where she's based, to see the space and start thinking about her design plan. So what do you think? That this is your first time being in the space? Right now we're standing in the boys' room.
It's an opportunity to do something that's unique.
Yeah.
And you want to create a little space that kind of relates to a memory, I think. In doing the furniture layouts and like deciding this is girl and this is boy, the architecture of the room really does fit both of those spaces. For the boys' room, I have kind of more of a day bed since it's a boy and boys need a space to run and be crazy. And the girls' room really is able to set up a little bit more like a bedroom.
I'm heading to Dallas to visit Amy at her shop, Amy Berry Home. This shop represents her design philosophy with a mix of antiques, custom pieces, and accessories. She also has a section of the store fully dedicated to kids' furnishings. Hey, Amy. It's so nice to see you again.
Nice to see you too.
Here I am in hot Dallas.
Welcome to Texas.
Thank you so much.
I'm looking at boys and girls rooms because I have a boy and a girl. It kind of became a okay when they grow up kind of thing. So I kept girls' room as big sister and boys' room as kind of little brother. And they both have elements that tell kind of an interesting story about how to do a kid's room. Because I think a lot of times it's hard to justify putting money in a room that is going to that they're going to be a kid in.
Right.
So for little brother, I wanted to create a space that kind of spoke towards him being like maybe around the age of 9 or 10. So what I did for his furniture, we have a twin bed that's kind of pushed up against the wall like a day bed. Really, because if he were to grow up and want to have 2 beds and when he wants to have friends over,
right,
that twin bed can then turn and sit with another just like it. But I wanted everything to kind of to feel open. We have a paper that we're going to use from Mural Sources. It's called Jefferson Country. There's something kind of imaginative that works for a little boy, but there's also something that can kind of grow up with him.
Yes.
Which I loved, and I love doing something like that on these walls that kind of like envelop you. For the girls' room, in my head, she's older than her brother.
Right.
Like probably around 14 or
Okay.
so young teenager.
Yes.
But really, in my mind, this room is kind of her big girl room. So I fell in love with this fabric. It's a fabric-cut fabric. It's called Aviary Toile, but the blue in it is so soft. And I love this fabric, not only because the price point's awesome, but because it's sweet and it's kind of just this soft little blue and white backdrop.
Right.
So we're gonna totally cover the room in it. We're gonna upholster the walls and the curtains are gonna be the same fabric.
Yeah.
The chaise is gonna be the same fabric. And so I think that really with rooms like what they both have, where they have these dormers and all the angles and all of that, like to kind of wrap it in pattern, it softens the angles.
Right.
So for her, she gets a queen bed, and we have these little nightstands that are being made for her. We have a kind of a private label that's part of the store here.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And so we've kind of it's been awesome to kind of have the custom capabilities. She gets a secretary because she's a little bit older, and so she's got stuff to do. And then the bedding.
Oh, the bedding.
Oh, the bedding. Big sister is going to get like kind of a little bit of a bedding upgrade, but there is a company that we're so excited to have in the store. It's a company called Lenore.
Okay.
And they do custom bedding. So this pillow is actually one of theirs.
Oh, look at this embroidery.
Isn't it beautiful?
I mean, this is gorgeous.
I know. Still the like really great, just easy white cotton.
Right.
Another ruffle. Can't
This
help
room has
myself.
ruffles on ruffles on ruffles, right? And
we love a
fabric,
good
yes.
ruffle. This is the monogram I fell in love with for her.
Okay.
Smaller scale
So
check.
this company does custom bedding from
It's
literally
amazing.
the top sheet on up.
It's amazing.
We're heading over to Wells Abbott showroom to select fabrics for custom lampshades.
So for Moya has a program where they make lampshades. I love them. It's like a
Yeah.
really quick way to just dress up a light. So many of the fabrics that they carry aren't the ones you see all the time, which is part of the reason I love them.
Yeah. So.
They represent a lot of smaller lines,
Yes.
which I love, but they represent just a really good range. We kind of thought that it would be good to come in and look at the lampshades and see all the fabric. So we have one piece here. This is one of the fabrics that is going to be used on the desk chair. So this is going to be the bed fabric in Big Sister's room. So this is the fabric for the day bed.
Okay.
In the boys' room. This is our lampshade.
Yeah.
Here it is on a lampshade.
Oh my, it feels so different when it's wrapped around a lampshade. I think the pleating really does something interesting with this fabric. I love this. One of Amy's best kept secrets is her workshop, where she designs and produces furniture for her store and clientele.
This is where all of our custom upholstery happens.
Oh, okay.
So we have always done a lot of custom things for projects and clients and all that
Yes.
sort of thing. And I love this part of my business. We made this chair for the store.
Okay.
And it's one of my favorites, and so we have it there in a couple different fabrics.
Yes.
We're actually gonna have a version of it, just the shape of it, in the boys' room.
Yes.
This chair I love because the seat of it's not, it doesn't take up so much room,
Right.
but everyone's kind of happy sitting in it.
Yes.
The seat of it's still good. I always come here because I kind of like to put my hands on it and
Yes.
lay the fabric out and kind of walk through how it rolls around the arm and how it rolls across the daybed. You can kind of see the roll of this arm, and it'll roll around this way. This is kind of a modification of a table that we made. I designed this one for a nursery originally because I kind of felt like when you're sitting there, all the side table options that I would have, you have so many books with a child.
Right, right.
So to have a table that can hold the books, we did these little rails around it so it's part bookshelf, part side table, but not too big.
I love that it has a little
tray.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
And then it'll get a little seagrass on top, and then we modified this one to give it a drawer so it can be a nightstand.
That's perfect.
But I kind of think that a side table would be good with a drawer too.
Now it's time to head back to Nashville and bring it all together.
We were supposed to go first, and we went last. Lucky for me, I had sent Britt, who is my assistant, who's been with me for 6 years, to kind of get it all started before I got here. If you have a room like this that is not a perfect square, any painter or wallpaper person is going to look at you when they get here and say, like, do you want me to stop right there? And I think, no. With rooms like this that angle, I think more is more. I think that kind of wrapping it just makes that big of a difference. This room is supposed to grow with her. It's supposed to be able to grow with her because little girls have a tendency to change their minds on what their favorite color is. I feel like with what we picked, it's blue, but it's a soft enough blue that you can kind of layer things in. So if she wants it to go a little bit more neutral, which is the way we kind of set it up now, it can. It's all just very sweet. I feel like there's something lurking in here and hiding that I cannot. It's gonna jump out at me, I know it. What went wrong? When you rush things, like curtains, sometimes the seamstresses forget to put hooks in. And it's kind of hard for anything to hang without a hook. So, we're gonna find some more. If we were in Dallas, they'd be in my car, but we're not. When I was stuffing the cushion in that room, it wasn't a cushion cover, it was an upholstered cushion. So we cut the cover off so I could make the new cover very quickly, which I did. But then when I came here to stuff the cushion, it exploded. Oh my God. We are going to vacuum the rest of that up. Let me see if I can just cram this in here. This is so absurd. Feathers everywhere. So this is what a down cushion looks like when it explodes. Like this. It is very important when you install to wear clothes that have pockets. It is not unusual for the day to end and my pockets to be filled with trash and tags and fuzz. The girls' room.
Oh, this is beautiful.
So happy with it.
So this is what you were talking about, layers and layers and layers of kind of the same fabric.
Yeah, so we wrapped the whole room in it. It's the Aviary 12 from Fabrica. I love it because it's kind of that perfect soft blue.
Right.
So it works for a little girl. It's not too little girl.
Right.
But it works with pink too.
So in terms of layering, you have it on your curtains, you have it on the chaise here, you have it wrapped around the wall. This is kind of your moment of quiet, right?
So this is kind of what I was talking about too, is creating a space where the walls feel finished and the curtains feel finished.
Yes.
And then the bed can be simple. And I think with kids, having a bed that is white, it's almost easier to take care of. It's this wonderful company called Lenore. So they do all these hem stitches in different colors. I also love the Fermoy lampshades. It's it's an easy way to dress up a lamp that could have otherwise been not as interesting, maybe.
So are there any ideas here that you think can be translated into people's homes?
Well, whether it's fabric or wallpaper, I think that there's something about putting pattern on the walls
Yes.
that makes a wall feel finished. You don't have to dress it so much with art. What we put on the walls isn't so in your face because the walls feel finished. I grew up with my nose in books and I read everything, and I think that having a spot like this to be able to read and a little place to write and all of that, it's you kind of are creating a little space for them to do things like that.
I love that. So you have another room, and I'm guessing that it has nothing to do with this space.
It's completely different than this, whereas this one is sweet and precious and timeless.
It looks like you've done a thing where you have combined new and old.
A little bit. I think with any room, there's kind of something nice about something old anyways. It just makes it more interesting, and it kind of gives it a sense of history of something.
So are these antiquities that you've added in?
So the little bedside tables are. We refinished those in Dallas when y'all came to see us. There's a couple things between both rooms that are similar. Both bedside tables have the seagrass in the tops.
Mm-hmm. One of the other things I know that you mentioned was having a rug that you didn't have to really worry about.
This one's Dash and Albert. They're made so well. It's 100% wool.
Right.
And they're made for high traffic, which
yes.
here we are in high traffic. Soft edges are good.
Right.
Which is why the David has its rolled arms. It's just keeping things soft and low and nothing too tall that they can jump off of.
Mm-hmm. Do you always look for something to ground a space before you kind of do the other thing, or did it start with the mural and you pulled in from
this
there?
This one started with the mural.
Okay.
I fell in love with the mural.
Yeah.
And I think that as you look at it, you see the horses running around the room and the dogs and the house, and it starts to tell this little story. But it's the kind of paper that it can grow up with him. Yeah.
But it feels like you can be imaginative and playful.
This room, it's like the walls and the curtains, and same with hers. They can kind of grow up into it, and they can add things into it because they will. They'll want to.
Right.
You want them to.
Yes. When I asked Amy Berry to do the kids' rooms, I knew she'd be the perfect choice because she has two little ones, and even in her own shop, she has a section dedicated to children. What I didn't know is where she would take these. She kind of created these two children, a boy and a girl, and wrapped both of their rooms in distinctly different papers.
If someone was designing a room for my children, I would care about the imagination aspect of it a little bit. I think that there's something about kids that you kind of have an opportunity with their room to do something that it's their room, because they get that. No matter what age they are, even our 2-year-old, it's my room, it's my room.
I think what's really cool about both of these spaces is that it gives you room to grow up. Rather than going for some modern kind of space that they would outgrow in a year or two, she wanted to create a room that you can grow into and that you'll look back fondly on when you're older.
We have 2 kids. We have a little girl who's older and a little boy. I think in my mind, as I was doing this, you kind of watch their little personalities, and it's how they grow up. And I could trust her in a room that has fabric on the walls. I could not trust him in a room like this. But I think that kind of their little personalities kind of dictated a little bit.
And I think that kind of nostalgia is key to what she does and has really created a room that can grow with them and they'll look fondly back on forever.